Shahai Fun, an ordinary high school student, is walking home from school when his friend Lu catches up with him. Lu surprises Shahai with tickets to an event and urges him to confess to his crush who happens to be walking ahead of them. However, before Shahai can act, a truck comes barreling towards him, and Lu fails to notice it. Later, Shahai wakes up in class with a pounding headache after barely getting through 10 pages of his textbook. Lu manages to wake him up just as the teacher arrives, but they are interrupted by the sudden appearance of zombies. Shahai is so shocked by the study material that he jumps onto the windowsill. The teacher is clearly unhappy with the interruption and punishes him by forcing him to copy the academy guidelines repeatedly. Despite the teacher's authority and her attractive appearance, he refuses to take orders. It seems his friend feels the same way. As for himself, he finds himself in a different world, one where high school is humanity's last hope. But he can't say he envies his situation. To summarize, it has been 50 years since the zombie apocalypse, and the academy they attend serves as the final defense and research facility for this world. Protecting the last remaining survivors is crucial. While Zhao is gazing out the window at a ruined city, the zombies suddenly break free from their confinement and rush toward him with ravenous hunger. His former crush comes in a split second later and saves his backside by carving the undead back into meat, stepping into the limelight. The #1 beauty of the academy holds her sword proudly, but as Xiao comes forward to say thank you, the idiot trips up on a pool of blood and falls back almost through the open window. Zhao was saved from falling by a grip of a hand, but as a consequence, he landed on top of the most attractive girl in school on his first day. After receiving a harsh slap, he found himself cleaning the men's bathrooms with a mop. He felt like everyone he knew in this world had become strangers. All but one person, Lu, approached him with a sign-up sheet for courses, and they even considered taking a course together. Lu was a true friend, someone who would stand by him even if the rest of the world rejected him in this new environment. However, things took a sudden turn for the worse. An alarm sounds somewhere deep in the school, and bells ring out everywhere across the halls. The randomized survival drill for the year was beginning. What the heck kind of school has a random survival drill? I can only imagine their version of a pop quiz. Nuo and Xiao run for the exit. As if they don't make it, the boys knew that the infected creatures could suddenly be released into the school, leaving them trapped and vulnerable. It was a terrifying thought, but there was a reason behind the madness. With limited resources for human survival, only the strongest would prevail. It was a harsh reality, but they had no other choice. Weakness was not an option. Little did they know, a dangerous experimental subject, 009, had escaped from its captivity and would soon join the horde of zombies storming the school. The situation was dire, and it seemed almost too convenient for the plot. The student union president quickly arrived at the research division and took charge, ordering all the science teams to find and eliminate the menace before it was too late. Time was running out, and the fate of the school rested in their hands. During the chaos of the survival drill, Subject 009 presented their best opportunity yet to understand the virus. With only 60 seconds until the doors closed, the boys and several other students made a desperate run for safety. But just as they were about to make it, Luo stumbled and fell. Despite Lulu's protests to leave him behind and save themselves, Zhao immediately turned back to help his friend. Yao refuses to accept failure and assists their fallen comrade in getting to safety. However, despite their efforts, they are unable to escape in time and are forced to take refuge inside the building. While hiding in a supply closet deep within the school, Luo accidentally bumps into a bucket, which reveals the disgusting face of a zombie lurking outside the door. The loud clang of the bucket echoes against the walls and attracts a horde of zombies from within a 50-mile radius. The protagonist ruefully remarks that even the alarming noise won't attract any attractive girls to their area. With the zombies closing in on them, the boys are left with no option but to find an alternative escape route. XO inquires if there is any other way out, and Luo points to an air vent in the ceiling as the only possibility. Refraining from cracking a joke, the protagonist manages to lead the zombies away from his friend by luring them on a marathon through the vacant corridors. However, XO's luck runs out as he stumbles upon a terrifying zombie known as Subject 009. This beastly creature possesses razor-sharp claws that make the protagonist's mothers look dull in comparison. While dodging its brutal strikes, XO narrowly escapes with his life, running through the halls with the creature hot on his heels from the blood-stained roof. In a near-death experience, the zombie's claws penetrate his chest, and XO appears to die on the spot. Despite this, his indomitable spirit refuses to yield, and he rises to his feet, determined to keep fighting. To the protagonist's amazement, XO's wounds miraculously disappear, and Subject 009 turns its attention towards Luo. The protagonist yells for the creature to come back, deeming it too ugly to handle. He dashes towards XO and manages to dodge the zombie's attempts to attack him, ultimately grabbing hold of its arm and hurling the creature over his body. With a loud crack, the beast slams against the wall with thunderous force and is unable to continue its pursuit. As the protagonist holds the beast by its throat, Zhao suddenly feels an irresistible urge to take a massive bite out of it. Succumbing to the temptation, Zhao sinks his teeth into the monster's flesh and consumes it with fervor, leaving the creature's lifeless body aside. After his meal, Zhao notices that his fingers have transformed into claws similar to the beast's. Zhao tests out his newfound weapon on an Olo zombie and dispatches it with ease. With his new ability honed and easily controllable, he heads back to Luo, who is in disbelief that his friend has managed to survive. The overwhelmed Luo immediately inquires whether Zhao has been infected with the D/slashing transmitted disease. Zhao confirms that he has, but he seems unaffected by it, thanks to his new claws. The protagonist muses to himself that it's not like he has ever been with a girl to contract the disease. Before Ko can elaborate further, their conversation is abruptly cut short by the sound of troops storming into the building. Windows shatter, and soldiers clad in gas masks and military hoodies storm the hallways, reporting to their superior Ussi that they have found no trace of Subject 009. However, they have apprehended the 2 students remaining in the building and have taken them into custody for questioning. The protagonist reflects on the absurdity of the situation, with the school treating its students like convicted criminals. Ussi walks in and demands to know why the students were even in the building to begin with. The protagonist offers a brief explanation that they didn't make it out in time because he had turned back to help his friend. Ussi continues to question him about the mysterious special specimen and expresses surprise at not having seen Subject 009. Ussi surprises the protagonist by releasing Zhu from his restraints, and the protagonist realizes that there may be more to Ussi than just coldness and hostility. As she walks out, she offers him a piece of advice: serving oneself is the only way to survive in this world. The protagonist muses to himself that being a superhuman mutant may also be a viable option for survival. The protagonist responds to Ussi's advice by asserting that leaving his friend behind would make him lose his humanity. As the protagonist walks through the halls, a mysterious man appears before him and offers him unparalleled power in exchange for joining forces. The man's appearance seems to be an illusion. The mysterious man quickly fades away, and the protagonist finds himself back in the familiar hallway that he had already passed through. Among the students, he avoids drawing attention to himself and sees Luo, and Luo grabs X's hand and snaps him out of his stupor. He tells X that he has been worried sick since they were taken to the interrogation room. Luo seems to be aware of X's secret mutant abilities. As a result of Zhao's comment, the disciplinary committee member, the situation escalates quickly, and Zhao finds himself facing off against a group of angry students led by the disciplinary committee member. Ji Li Zhao received a hard slap across the face, which caused him to stumble and hit an ornate display. He was then pinned down by the woman's fancy white heel. She was angry because not only had he failed the drill, but he had also shown disrespect towards the student union. However, the woman's anger was misplaced, as the document did not mention anything about his failure. When Luo read the document aloud, the woman picked up a piece of the broken display and threatened her. She was asked twice to release him, but instead, she had the audacity to talk back to the person holding her hostage. After being warned twice, Ms. Pristine finally released Ji Li Zhao's friend. Even though the boys had failed their drill, they were given a second chance to prove themselves by completing an off-campus assignment provided by someone important. The assignment was considered very difficult, and the other people in the hallway felt sorry for the boys for having to undertake such a challenging task. Li returns to the office and is informed that the special variant 009 had been killed under mysterious circumstances. Later, during their outing, Yao Luck is introduced to a new teacher and they are assigned to a mission with no weapons provided. If they successfully complete the mission without any injuries, they will be awarded 200 credits each. 2 of the students, referred to as beta males, are excited about this reward and are simping over it. One of them tries to take on a leadership role and acts like a commander, but this behavior annoys a cunning student in the rear seat. Upon exiting the bus, the students first consult their maps to gather information about their surroundings. As soon as the students exit the bus, they are attacked by a zombie that has fallen off a roof or glitched through a wall. One of the female students throws a blade into the back of the zombie's head, killing it instantly. She warns the 2 scared boys that they must rely on luck because she will not be there to save them if they are not careful. She also expresses uncertainty about hitting the target again, given the zombie's strange appearance. Despite being carried by someone, Mr. Tough Stuff tries to maintain his authority, but they all hurry to catch up with the girl who saved them. The students were assigned the mission of gathering food from a nearby supermarket, but upon arrival, it appears that there is nothing left to take. One of the boys suggests that they return empty-handed but alive. However, Mr. Tough Stuff is determined to obtain the promised credits and refuses to leave without accomplishing the mission. Despite the previous statement that there was nothing left, it turns out that the supermarket is fully stocked with supplies. However, before they can begin to collect anything, Zhu has a strange feeling that something is not right, which is later revealed to be his own unique ability. The girl also senses something amiss and, in a matter of seconds, the ground suddenly erupts without warning. As the ground erupts, a massive zombie, twice the size of 009, emerges and charges towards them. The two boys at the back of the group panic and flee first, while the girl takes charge and leads the rest of the group towards the nearest bus. They continue to run as the enormous zombie chases after them relentlessly. Despite their efforts, they can't seem to shake off the monster. Zhao told everyone to stay put while he went to save Chen-min. Since she had saved their lives, he felt obligated to rescue her. Quickly moving across the rooftops of buildings, he saw a gigantic zombie leaning over Chen-min's body. He then activated his powers and attacked the zombie. However, the giant managed to dodge and sent Zhao flying with a single blow, causing him to bleed from his mouth. Despite the setback, Yufan quickly recovered and engaged the zombie in combat. Using his speed, he dodged the giant's attack and managed to get on top of it, striking it at the base of its neck. This caused the giant zombie to fall. Zhao thought he no longer felt like a human, but he quickly snapped out of it and remembered Chen-min. Fortunately, she hadn't been bitten and was simply unconscious. He wondered why the zombie hadn't eaten her. At that moment, the others arrived, amazed at how an ordinary person could defeat such a monster. Suddenly, they heard a noise and thought it might be other survivors. But when one of their group shouted out asking if anyone was alive, they hushed him. Xiaoman spotted a canned food container and figured they must be near a supermarket parking lot, where there might be survivors. One of the brothers mentioned that if the survivors eat the food, they won't get any credits. At that moment, his brother told him to look ahead, and they saw a horrifying zombie child. One of the brothers suggested capturing the zombie child, as they could get 10,000 credits if they handed it over to a laboratory. Xiaoman told everyone to look closely at how the zombie child stared at the giant's body, as if it wanted to save it. The younger brother questioned how a zombie could have feelings. Just as the older brother was about to grab the zombie child, it started screaming loudly. Birds began flying around, and a woman with wings appeared in the sky. Xiaoman said it might be the zombie child's mother. The older brother, frightened, started to run but remembered the credits and decided to catch the zombie anyway. However, as he approached, the winged woman flew towards him, grabbed his neck, and killed him. The rest of the group was shocked. Zhao said they needed to leave. The winged woman gave chase, and the group hid in a building. Zhao then handed Chen-min over and told everyone to run. When asked about himself, he replied that he would come soon. As soon as the group left, the winged woman broke through the wall, and Zhao lost consciousness. While unconscious, he heard voices urging him to get up. He saw his dark counterpart again, who told him that he had a unique ability to absorb the powers of other mutants. If he submitted to his nature, he could become the most powerful being in the world. At that moment, Zhao regained consciousness and activated his power, managing to tear off the winged woman's arm as she was choking him. He then grabbed her by the neck, causing her to fall. The zombie child, frightened, ran away. Zhao didn't understand what was happening, and suddenly wings sprouted from his back. Meanwhile, Xiaoman scolded the remaining brother for running slower than him while carrying Chen-min. He then decided to find out what had happened to Zhao Yifan and place Chen-min on the ground. The younger brother pulled an unknown alarm, and the lights came on, revealing they were in a supermarket. They quickly started gathering food, but they soon noticed they were surrounded by zombies, with one of them almost reaching them. Just in time, a now conscious Chen-min killed the zombie and told them to run. They all tried to climb up onto the store shelves, but the stand under Xiaoman broke. With her last strength, Chen-min lifted him up, telling him not to open his eyes. However, Xiaoman opened them and panicked, causing both of them to fall into the crowd of zombies. He thought they were doomed, but the younger brother shouted for them to look to the side. They saw Zhao using a shopping cart to break through the horde of zombies. Xiaoman was relieved to see Zhao, who said he had no intention of dying. Chen-min interrupted their exchange and told them they needed to run. Zhao told them to climb into the shopping cart. Xiaoman hesitated, but they had no time to waste. Once in the cart, they were shocked by its speed, and Chen-min even lost a button but pretended not to notice. Eventually, they ended up in a subway station. They all thought it was safe there, but Chen-min insisted she needed to go back. Zhao stopped her and told them to listen to the sounds. They saw a group of people, one of whom welcomed them to the subway. The man explained that the supplies they were looking for had been moved to the subway long ago. When asked who they were, the man introduced himself as Hubai and said these were his people, who then bowed. Xiaoman asked if they could take some supplies. Hubai agreed and invited them to eat with him, after which his people would help them escape. Xiaoman mentioned that he hadn't eaten meat in years and suggested Zhao stay. Chen-min, on the other hand, said they could stay while she went back. Xiaoman told Chen-min that going alone in her condition was dangerous and that it would be better to stay and leave together. She exchanged glances with Hubai and agreed. They were then taken to a room where Hubai told them that before the barbecue, they would first watch a show. They were shown a dance referencing a famous meme. Chen-min asked if she could see the supplies. Hubai agreed and instructed someone to take her to the storage room. Zhao volunteered to go with her. Hubai told the others they could start eating. The younger brother asked one of Hubei's subordinates why Hubei had such a strange name. The subordinate explained that he resembled an Aventi from old movies, so his father named him that. At this point, Zhao and Chen Min were in the storage room. Zhao asked why she was so eager to go on missions outside the academy. Chen Min explained that her sister had disappeared on such a mission, and the survivors of the incident said they got separated in a supermarket. She then asked if he understood. Zhao replied that he did. The storage room had many personal items besides supermarket provisions. Zhao commented that it was strange. Meanwhile, in the dining hall, a tray was being opened, and Hubei said it was time to enjoy a special dish, Subway roasted pig. But it was actually a roasted human body. Xiaomin and the younger brother were horrified by what they saw. At that moment, Chen Min and Zhao continued their investigation and became more convinced of their theory. Chen Min accidentally knocked over a cabinet, revealing a hidden passage. She said that as soon as they entered, she smelled human flesh. Zhao was surprised he hadn't noticed the smell. As soon as they entered, Zhao's powers began to activate, and he heard a voice, "Given to your nature." He began to mutate. Chen Min, examining the remains of the bodies, realized the other two were in danger, but when she turned around, Zhao was gone. Back with Xiaomin and the younger brother, they were very scared and said they didn't want to eat. Hubei said they had prepared the meal especially for them, and refusing it was an insult. At that moment, Chen Min held a blade to Hubei's throat and told him to let them go. Hubei said they were guests and could leave on their own. However, he quickly pulled out a club and tried to strike, but Chen Min was faster and struck him back. Despite this, Hubei's men knocked her out from behind. Hubei ordered his men to prepare the fat one for cooking and to take the girl to his bedroom. Suddenly, the room went dark. Hubei asked if the power had gone out, but one of his subordinates said it wasn't a power outage. They then saw a monster emitting darkness, and the subordinate was killed. Hubei ordered his men to attack the monster, but they were all repelled. Seeing the wounds on his subordinates, Hubei ordered everyone to take weapons, and they tried to destroy the monster. However, it killed them one by one. Hubei, noticing the monster, tried to torch it with a flamethrower, not caring about his subordinates. Next, we see Zhao, relieved that he managed to dodge the attack. At that moment, a grenade falls next to him. But Zhao dodges and attacks Hubei. However, as soon as he got close, the floor under him collapsed, and Yifen fell down. Hubei said he would eat him later. While the battle was taking place, Xiaomin and the younger brother noticed a large hole in the wall through which they could escape. Meanwhile, in the pit, Zhao saw a creature that told him, "I am here, you must escape." Then Zhao saw Laska. Next, we see Hubei, furious with his subordinates, ready to throw a grenade at them. Suddenly, a woman and a heavyset man arrived and calmed him down. They were the second and third leaders of the Tiger Dragon gang. Hubei then said that Zhao must be a mutant since he managed to escape. However, the heavyset man said that Zhao was not the only one who could mutate. He swallowed a pill and began to transform. At that time, Zhao tried to escape by knocking out the guards. However, he encountered the transformed heavyset man. The man quickly attacked Zhao, but Zhao managed to dodge. He realized that if the giant hit him, he would be a goner. But the man said that keeping a distance from him wouldn't work and released a wave of flame from his mouth. During this attack, the heavyset man said that after dealing with Zhao, he would take care of his friends and especially that girl. This angered Zhao, and he activated wings. The heavyset man was shocked by Zhao's double mutation, but Zhao quickly moved behind him and bit him. The heavyset man then deflated. Zhao said it was time for him to leave. However, at that moment, the girl who had been with the heavyset man arrived and said that Zhao was interesting and should stay. She transformed into a monster and attacked Zhao with a swarm of crows. However, Zhao's nature took over, and he began to destroy the crows. He started to look like a monster himself. The girl became frightened and tried to flee by flying away. However, Zhao released green claws from his hand and impaled her. The girl begged for him to let her go and asked for forgiveness. However, Zhao said that she could ask for forgiveness later, but now he would kill her. After that, he bit her as well. At that moment, a rocket hit him. Hubei stated that the wings wouldn't protect the kid from the missile. But when the smoke cleared, they were attacked by a flock of crows glowing green and setting fire with their attacks. Hubei declared that he would burn them himself and unleashed a wave of fire from his flamethrower. As a result, the crows flew away and Hubei started to celebrate, but then Zhao appeared before him. Hubei released fire again, but it had no effect on Zhao, who grabbed him and, with the words "Now you will die," impaled him. Then a voice in his head told him to eat Hubei. While everyone around fled, Zhao bent over Hubei's body. At that moment, we see a group of people. A woman sitting inside a palanquin said that the second and third bosses had been gone for a long time and ordered the dogs to be released. An old man gave the command, and we saw three-headed dogs charging forward. Meanwhile, Xiaomin and one of the brothers were dragging Chen Min when they saw the dogs. They tried to hide, and Xiaomin said to be quiet. However, they asked about the dog's sense of smell. Xiaomin said everything would be fine. Suddenly, the dogs were right beside them. Just as the dogs were about to eat them, Zhao arrived and kicked one of the dogs away, saying he would kill everyone. Xiaoman urged him to snap out of it, and Zhao seemed to remember who he was. Then the old man appeared and said that Zhao had a double mutation. Zhao attacked him, but the old man said it was weak and knocked Zhao out. Afterward, we see a girl who wonders how he managed to kill the second and third bosses since he seemed insignificant. Then she tore Zhao's wings off. Later, Zhao woke up in a room with Xiaoman and asked where Chenmin and the other guy were. Xiaoman said they must be in another place. Then he said he had devised a device that would help Zhao become stronger. Zhao was surprised that Xiaoman knew about mutations. Xiaoman said he wouldn't lie and honestly tell that he had heard conversations at the academy about experimenting with mutants, and he remembered it. Zhao said he didn't want to involve him and asked when he created the devices and from what materials. Xiaoman said he had assembled the device right there and showed it to Zhao. He said that this device could extract excess mutated genes and help him maintain control in berserk mode and monitor various indicators. Next, we see that there are 3 types of mutations: physique, infection, and wildness. Each gives different abilities. Zhao said he could enhance himself with this device, and Xiaoman agreed. They checked Zhao's mutation power, and Xiaoman was surprised at how much he had, warning him to choose carefully. Zhao then chose body enhancement and was enveloped by energy. When it stopped, Xiaoman asked if anything had changed. Zhao said, "Let's check now," and kicked a steel door down with one blow. Meanwhile, 2 guards were taunting Chenmin, and just as they were about to assault her, Zhao knocked them out. He apologized for taking so long. Chenmin asked how he had escaped, and Zhao replied that it was a long story. Then, the old man who had defeated him earlier reappeared, saying they were too loud. Zhao asked what he wanted, and the old man said they had killed the bosses of the Tiger Dragon, the leaders of this place, and would pay for it. He then tried to throw some spheres, but Zhao quickly slammed him into the ground. Just as they were about to leave, the old man came to his senses and declared that he would defeat Zhao. However, Zhao struck him again. The old man claimed that the spheres were made of 1,000-year-old iron and that Zhao wouldn't be able to do anything with them. Nevertheless, the sphere began to crack, and with the next blow, Zhao broke the old man's ribs, causing him to fall. At that moment, the old man's subordinates arrived. However, he said he didn't need their help and would handle it himself before releasing energy, causing the wind to rise around them. The old man claimed that his body was stronger than iron and that Zhao couldn't harm him. Zhao immediately tried to attack him, and the old man realized that Zhao could break his body. He then asked his subordinates for help, but they were already afraid. As the old man was distracted by his subordinates, Zhao began attacking on his own, kicking the old man through a passage to the street. Suddenly, they were surrounded by 3-headed dogs, and the old man said they knew his strength and would only attack Zhao. However, Zhao grabbed the old man, who felt his power fading. Afterward, Zhao bit him and threw the old man's body away. The old man screamed, "My power," and at that moment, the dogs pounced on him. Zhao decided to take advantage of the situation and leave quickly. Then, the girl who had torn off Zhao's wings appeared, saying she wouldn't let him go. She also said she was surprised that so many of her people had been killed by him, little brother, and asked if he had thought about joining them. Zhao asked what she had done to his friend, and she replied that she had merely made him more like a dog. At that moment, Chenmin and Xiaoman decided to help Zhao. Meanwhile, the girl said that perhaps Zhao would change his opinion about them and activated her unusual eyes. Zhao recognized them as Sun Young's eyes and said they looked cool, and he wanted them. The girl replied that since she couldn't control him, they would try another approach. She ordered the zombie, who was once Zhao's comrade, to attack him. The zombie, repeating only the phrase "Yes, master," charged into battle. Zhao tried to talk to him, but it was futile, especially since the zombie had become a mutant with lightning powers. Suddenly, a rocket hit the zombie. Xiaoman and Chenmin had come to help. Zhao said that such attacks wouldn't work on the mutant, and indeed, the zombie appeared unharmed. At that moment, the umbrella girl said it was time for the others to act and ordered the female zombie to attack as well. She managed to knock Zhao back with her strike. Seeing the zombie, Chenmin realized it was her sister. Zhao was amazed by the monster's strength, as it could easily damage his organs with regular hits. Meanwhile, Chenmin told Xiaoman to stay put while she went to help Zhao. As soon as she left, the lightning zombie attacked Xiaoman. During the fight, Zhao understood that he was exhausted and needed to finish the battle quickly. However, while he was thinking, the zombie grabbed his arm, right where the device was attached, and tore it off. The zombie then pushed Zhao down and repelled a now-naked Chenmin. As Zhao fought, Chenmin noticed a beetle-shaped device on her sister's neck and realized it was being used to control her. She struck the device, destroying it. At the same time, Xiaoman defeated the lightning zombie with another rocket. Seeing this, the girl in the dress spread the wings of her umbrella and flew away, saying she would deal with them next time. Everyone knew it was time to leave, but Chenmin's sister said she wouldn't live much longer and was glad she could see her sister before she died. However, Chenmin insisted she wouldn't leave her, and as they were leaving in a suddenly arriving bus, the 3-headed dogs latched onto Chenmin's sister and mauled her to death. Chenmin wanted to help, but Zhao stopped her, and at that moment, the newly arrived Cheng Yunxi killed the dogs and told everyone to get on the bus. As everyone rushed into the bus, Chang Yunsi slashed the dogs and jumped onto the roof of the departing bus. She then asked Zhao how he managed to survive, as a regular human couldn't handle mutated dogs unless he himself was mutated. Zhao didn't know what to say, but Xiaoman explained that Zhao was a martial arts master and that's why he lasted so long. Chang Yunsi said she believed him this time, and Zhao thanked her. Chang Yunsi said there was no need for gratitude, as the academy protected its students, but she thought to herself that she was right to be thanked. However, Chen Min said that wasn't true, as if the academy really protected them, her sister wouldn't have died. Chang Yunsi said they came to help when they saw a signal flare. But Xiaoman said they didn't have a flare, which surprised Chang Yunsi because she had seen one. Meanwhile, the girl in the dress was talking to her subordinate, saying she would turn Zhao into her obedient little dog and was pleased with this specimen. She left the rest to her subordinate. Back at the academy, Yifan and Xiaoman walked around discussing the situation when Jai Lai, the subordinate of the girl in the dress, appeared before them. She praised them, saying they earned 1,000 points for the bodies they had collected, and gave them an invitation to a party. The next day, both of them prepared for the party, dressed formally. After joking about each other's appearance, they saw Chen Min, also beautifully dressed, whom they didn't recognize at first. During the party, a guy rudely hit on Chen Min, but Zhao quickly stopped him. The guy started threatening Zhao, but a figure wearing a plague doctor's mask suddenly appeared and grabbed him. As soon as he saw her, he fell to his knees and apologized. The cloaked figure was Yan Kai, one of the 12 members of the student council. The girl in the mask then sat on a throne and began to speak. She said that biological research was conducted at the academy, and they had achieved significant results. Moreover, as it was well known, a normal person couldn't handle a mutant. At that moment, a mutant burst into the room, shouting for help. One of the attendees said that allowing zombies into the academy was against the rules, and at that moment, the mutant, screaming that he couldn't control himself, killed him. After the girl in the mask asked if anyone else had any objections, everyone was scared. She said that since there were no objections, her puppies shouldn't disappoint her, and a horde of zombies rushed into the hall, killing everyone in their path. At one point, one of the mutants almost attacked Zhao, but Chen Min cut off its arm and told Zhao to be more careful. Zhao then joined the fight as well. Meanwhile, as the crowd tried to escape, Jai Lai shot one person and warned that if they tried to flee, there would be even more corpses. At this moment, the obnoxious guy from the beginning of the party offered 5,000 credits to anyone who would help him, but within seconds, he panicked, and a zombie almost killed him. However, Zhao saved him, but the guy only complained that Zhao had gotten in his way. Zhao reminded him how he had just begged for help. As a group of people almost reached the exit, a guy blocked their path, saying it was too early to leave because this was just the appetizer. One of the pillars grabbed him and told him to get out of the way, kid. The guy's hand transformed, and he killed the man, saying he hated being called a kid. He then turned into a dragon, saying he would show them the power of true mutants and began to burn everyone with fire. He then saw Chen Min and said he was taking her, but Zhao stopped his claw, which surprised the dragon. The dragon asked if Zhao was a mutant and who he was. Zhao replied that he was the dragon's worst nightmare. This enraged the dragon, and it began to breathe fire. Zhao dodged the flames but was hit by the tail, slamming him into a wall. Chen Min screamed Zhao's name, and the enraged dragon lunged at her. As she thought she was going to die, Zhao, saying they weren't finished yet, tore off the dragon's tail, causing it to transform back into a human. As a human, the guy realized his ribs were broken. Zhao said they weren't done, and the guy created a duplicate of himself with a single movement. Xiaoman explained that this guy was a high-level mutant and that there were mutant overlords, mutant kings, and godlike mutants. Meanwhile, the guy's duplicate turned into a dragon and attacked Zhao, but Zhao used a corrosive liquid to bring it down. Zhao then bit the duplicate, saying he wanted to absorb its power. At that moment, the original unleashed fire at Zhao. Chen Min was very scared for him. But when the smoke cleared, she saw Zhao with dragon wings. The dragon guy said, "Could you be the legendary angel of death?" Zhao asked if he had any last words, after which the dragon released another wave of fire, causing part of Zhao's body to look like a skeleton engulfed in flames. The dragon realized the difference in their ranks. Zhao then simply pushed the dragon away with a wave from his wings. As soon as the dragon got up, Zhao struck him again and slammed him into the floor. A voice in Zhao's head told him he needed more, he needed to kill everyone. In the midst of his rampage, Chen Min approached him and said they were friends. Zhao repeated friends, but the voice in his head insisted he didn't need friends, he only needed to gain new power. At that moment, the dragon pierced Chen Min's body from behind, saying it was Zhao's mistake not to make sure the enemy was dead. Chen Min said she believed Zhao was not a monster and that he should believe in himself. Seeing this, Zhao flew into a rage, and the dragon said it had been a long time since such a battle had occurred. At that moment, someone cut off the dragon's hand. The girl in the fox mask knocked Zhao out and told Xiaoman to take him away. A week later, Xiaoman and Zhao were walking through a poor neighborhood, discussing whether they should return to the academy to find out what happened to the others. Xiaoman was against it, saying it was dangerous. At that moment, Judai appeared in front of them and said he would faithfully serve the Angel of Death. Zhao asked who the Angel of Death was. Xiaoman then explained that there was an ancient legend according to which many student council members were crushed by the dead. However, an angel killed those dead, and legends about him have circulated ever since. Moreover, they should take advantage of this guy since everyone at school already uses him. Judai then revealed that the white-haired monster was called Silent and used to be a member of the Guild of Predecessors. However, he was expelled from the guild for using the dead. Later, he became a mutant himself and used his powers to create and control new mutants. Zhao said it didn't matter, he would pay for Chen Min's death in any case. But Xiaoman said they should come up with a plan first and asked if Judai knew anything about the girl with pink hair, to which he replied no. Meanwhile, at the academy, the girl with pink hair eavesdropped on a conversation between Yansai and Jilai, during which Yansai said that if Jilai didn't capture Zhao, she would become the next test subject. The girl with pink hair decided that they needed to report this information. In the meantime, Judai provided our heroes with some electronics and supplies. Zhao asked what they were for, and Xiaoman replied that they would come in handy. Suddenly, they were surrounded by a wave of people with animal heads. Zhao asked where the mutants came from, to which they replied that they were not mutants, but a trading association. A man with a wolf's head introduced himself as Master Ho and said that for trading on their territory, they must pay 5,000 each. When they objected that there had been no trading, Ho began to threaten them. Zhao responded that they were now taking control of the trading association. Ho attacked Zhao, but Zhao easily defeated him. Then, a monster resembling a minotaur also attacked, but it was not a mutant, just a man who had taken a pill that temporarily gave him such an appearance. Zhao easily defeated him as well. Afterward, Ho removed his mask and revealed a childlike face. He then swore allegiance to Zhao, who said they would fight the council, but for now, they would occupy a more pleasant place and pointed to a building in the distance. Meanwhile, the girl in the fox mask reported to her mistress, but she was dismissed. As she walked away from the meeting, a girl in a plague doctor mask approached her and asked where Zhang Zhuang was going. She asked what the director was doing there, and the director said she had brought a gift. We then saw Chen Min. Zhang Zhuang was surprised at the resurrection of the dead, to which the director said that since she knew everything, she would now have to kill her. Zhang Zhuang said the director had crossed all boundaries. Yan replied that, in her defense, she was not pleased with the outcome and considered it mere trash to be discarded. Zhang Zhuang accused her of collaborating with evil scientists for experiments. Yan confirmed this and said it was no wonder Zhang Zhuang had been appointed head of the council. However, everyone on the council agreed with her, and the other people removed their masks, revealing themselves to be members of the student council. They said that with the help of mutants, they could achieve greater power. Yan said she had no time to explain everything and ordered Chen Min to attack. Zhang Zhuang tried to reason with her, but to no avail. Then she began to fight seriously and was about to attack the director when suddenly, a guy in glasses kicked Zhang Zhuang and Chen Min out of a window with his legs, saying that since the specimen couldn't handle its target, it was worthless. Meanwhile, in the poor district, Xiaoman made a new device for Zhao. While they were discussing its advanced features, a subordinate came and reported that they had fished some beautiful girls out of the river. They rejoiced at the thought of finally having girls around, but when Zhao and Xiaoman approached, they realized it was Zhang Zhuang and Chen Min. They carried the girls to the doctor, who said that they were both in bad condition and that without serious medicine, they wouldn't make it. Zhao asked Judai where they could get the medicine, and he replied that they could buy it, but it was dangerous since the council could track them. So, the only option was to steal it. Ho said he was ready to steal the medicine for his boss, but Zhao said he wasn't willing to risk others' lives and needed another way. Ho mentioned that the Suchun Association might have the necessary equipment and that their leader controlled many women and possessed secret teachings. Zhao dismissed the idea of secret teachings and said that they shouldn't fear anyone and that he would handle everything himself. He then ordered Judai to go to Suchun and buy a large amount of weapons and medicine. Xiaoman wondered if Zhao had some plan in mind, and Zhao confirmed that he did. He intended to force Suchun to lay down their arms before them. Judai arrived in a building that turned out to be a club where women served Suchun. Suchun ordered the women to leave them alone and noted that Judai didn't look like a customer. Judai said he wanted to buy medicine and weapons, and Suchun asked why. Judai replied that it was to stand against the Mao Association. Suchun inquired what he had to offer, and Judai answered that he had nothing but money. They shook hands. In the next scene, Judai brought the weapons to Zhao, who asked how much it cost. Judai answered that it was only 500 million. Everyone was shocked by the amount, but Zhao said that money was just money. He then told everyone to take the medicine to the doctor and announced that the dawn of the Mao Association began now. We are then taken back to Suchun, who asks his subordinates what the most important thing in the world is. They suggest various options, and one of them even gets a glass thrown in his face after a bad answer. The correct answer is women. The more of them, the stronger their influence. When asked where to find more beautiful women, a subordinate gets a bottle thrown at him. Su-chun says there are many beautiful women in the academy, and they can be found there. Then, one of the men says that the Mao Association is approaching. Su-chun wonders what to do since they sold all their weapons, and it seems Ju-dai failed. However, the girls tell him not to worry because the Mao Association has no chance against them and is doomed to fail. Then we see people from the Mao Association start shooting at the club building. Ho orders them to lay down their weapons, even though they had already bought all the weapons. In the end, Su-chun challenges Ho to a personal fight and defeats him with a single blow. Ho catches Zhao and says Su-chun will pay for hitting his subordinate. Su-chun quickly realizes who Zhao is and says she will fight seriously. Breaking a statue, she retrieves a red sword, creates a group of swords, and sends them flying to attack Zhao. Su-chun taunts Zhao, saying he can't handle her attacks, but Zhao silences her with a blow that knocks her down. Hitting her arm, Zhao sniffs a nearby bottle and realizes that it caused hallucinations for everyone around. Suddenly, two girls appear and try to attack Zhao. They are the Jio-ka-tin sisters. One of the sisters releases a snake from her hand, and although initially scared, Zhao realizes that she's a mutant and reveals his own bone wings. However, the snake wraps around him in mid-flight, and one of the sisters manages to smash Zhao into the ground. Poisoned and weakened, some of Zhao's people begin to doubt his victory. Still, the man with the bull's head encourages them to believe in their boss. Meanwhile, Zhao starts recovering from the poison, and the snake-wielding girl attempts another attack. Zhao catches the snakes and sets them on fire with green flames, forcing her to abandon her snake hands. She falls to the ground, caught by her sister, who declares herself Zhao's opponent. With a strange movement of her clothing, she cuts off Zhao's hand. Hearing a voice urging him to act, he enters berserker mode, creates a wave that rips the clothing off one of the sisters. She asks why they won't leave them alone and let them live in peace. Zhao doesn't understand, and she says the academy has always pursued them. Then, releasing spikes from the ground, she impales Zhao, who asks about the connection between mutants and the academy. She replies that the academy created all mutants. Zhao tells her to stop, but she says she will kill him because she doesn't want to be taken by the academy. Zhao promises to help her, breaking the spikes, grabbing her hand, and asking how the academy creates mutants. She begins to explain that the academy organizes senseless wars every year, justifying it with the need for resources. But in reality, we see a flashback of the sisters fleeing from monsters. They tried to hide in a bathroom, but a monster found them. She then wakes up in an operating room where doctors rejoice that they've finally found good material that can accept mutant genes, revealing that the girls were bought. She then notices that her hands have turned into blades. The doctors said they would turn the sisters into mindless puppets, but she hacked them to pieces instead. As she tried to escape with her sister, a young man blocked their path, claiming they were the academy's property and couldn't leave. Then a horde of zombies appeared, attempting to drag her sister away. She released a multitude of blades, defeating the zombies, and just as she tried to leave with her last strength, Ju-dai shot her and ordered the bodies to be disposed of. They were thrown into a dirty river, where Su-chun found them. Next, we see Zhao proposing to Su-chun and the sisters to join forces during negotiations. However, Su-chun argues that if they surrender now, they can save their lives. Ho questions how she can consider surrendering to the council. She replies that dying is better than being a slave. Zhao points out that it's uncertain if they will be spared since the academy sees them as mere resources. He then tells them about a supermarket he found during one of his outings, stocked with plenty of supplies. One of the sisters worries that there are too many supplies, and it could be dangerous. Xiaomin responds that the academy will attempt to clear the slums anyway, weakening their forces, especially in the workshops. At that moment, they receive news that the academy forces are advancing on the slums. Zhao orders Ho to confront them and Xiaomin to evacuate the wounded. Minotaur tells Zhao that they will meet the attackers themselves, as Zhao has his tasks. Zhao agrees and tells them to be careful. We then see the Minotaur encounter the academy's people and strike, but his attack is stopped by a single hand. Suddenly, the young man appears behind him and impales him. Wounded, the Minotaur says that even though his boss warned him not to take risks, he will follow his inner call. He then ignites dynamite and, declaring that the Mao Association will never bow down, explodes. The story continues with the struggle between the two factions and the characters' personal journeys, including the battle for survival, freedom, and a search for the truth behind the Academy's experiments.